Well, it's no secret around here that I am a big fan of true crime TV. So let's take a look at 3 of my all-time favorite shows from the genre in this Jaymes list. First up, a story you could not make up if you tried. It's called The Jinx. The short version is basically this. An eccentric real estate mogul named Robert Durst is suspected in the disappearance of his first wife in 1982. He is in charge, but then 18 years later, his best friend is murdered and he goes on the run, living partly undercover as a mute woman named Dorothy. It's a wild journey for Dorothy too because her neighbor also ends up dead. And it's a wild journey for Dorothy too because her neighbor also ends up dead. The Jinx is made up of existing media, police and security footage interviews, and reenactments. Oh, and get this, a seemingly hot mic confession from Durst. It is all just too crazy not to see. It's available on HBO GO, Google Play, and more. Next up, The Staircase, the wild story of Michael Peterson, who is accused of his wife Kathleen's murder on the staircase in their house. A camera crew follows this story along from very early in the case, telling things from his side. And as it goes on, you just might find yourself questioning if he really did it or not, because this isn't the first time someone in his life has died on a staircase. And that's just one of the many surprises in this one. Trust me, I went back and forth several times on whether or not I thought he was guilty, so I'm just really glad I was not on the jury on this one. Decide for yourself by streaming it on Netflix now. And finally, for the millions of people who listen to the first season of the podcast Serial, you already know the story of Adnan Syed. But if you don't, here's a quick recap. He was convicted as a teenager and is now serving life in prison for the murder of his high school sweetheart. The podcast pointed out so many discrepancies that a 4-part series called The Case Against Adnan Syed was created, presenting new information that will leave you with even more doubt than the podcast did. You can watch it on HBO's on-demand services. And that's your Jaymes list. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Celebrity Page for Hollywood's hottest headlines daily, and head over to celebritypage.com for even more inside access.